Hi everyone, this is Madhubala from Mrs.C.MADHUBALA-191ITV22, the Department of Information Technology. So now we are going to look about data warehousing. So what we are going to look about here is data warehousing. The term data warehousing means we are going to store a huge amount of files or a database or a drives or anything what we need to store in a warehousing. Okay, basically what is meant by data warehousing, this is what we are going to look about here. Okay, here these are the topic we are going to cover in data warehousing. First of all, we need to know about what is meant by data warehousing. Okay, I'll just cover these topics and all: history, definition, need for data warehousing, attributes of data warehousing, and then applications of data warehousing. The same way, the difference between data warehousing and database, the basic architecture of a data warehousing, advantage of data warehousing, at the last, future scope limitations, and then with the end of references. Okay. Here, the history of data warehousing is, the father of data warehousing is Bill Elmon. He coined the term in the 1970s while working as a data professional. Okay, and he's become an expert in relational data modeling. The father of data warehousing is Bill Elmon. Okay. In 1970s, he's the father of data warehousing. So he invented that databases are stored in a data warehouse. Okay, which is like home for all kind of files. And then Ral Himbal later in 1990s introduced a dimensional modeling concept for data warehouse designs. While Inmon's work focuses on a centralized approach benefiting data warehouse of large size, Campbell approach being an integrated on one focused on the smaller businessman. Okay, these two peoples invented and centralized this approach to be benefiting data warehouse. Then the main thing, what is meant by data warehouse? It is a large building where a raw material or a manufactured goods are stored prior to their distribution. Okay, it's a collection of database that works together are called data warehouses. A collection of databases, a collection of files, a collection of documents, a collection of Excel, a collection of many things, okay, which comes under a collection of data that works together are called data warehouse. This makes it possible to integrate data from multiple databases. The process of centralizing or aggregating data from multiple sources into one common repository is called data warehousing. Okay, this data is then readily available to any business professional, managers, etc., who needs to use the data to create forecasting and for other purposes. Here, that will work together or called data warehousing. Okay. Here, what is the need of data warehousing? The main thing, what we are going to do with data warehousing. Okay. A decision need to be made quickly or correctly using all available data. And there is a need to automate and rationalize the process of information storage rather than developing many individual databases. Okay. Here, the automated and rationalize the process of information that store rather than developing many individual databases. Okay. Here, the forecasting was obstacle in process of overall growth of an organization. Actually, the thing, data warehouse is centralized repository, which is like stores structured and semi-structured data from various sources that designed For what? That designed for analyzing and reporting rather than transactional processing. Okay, it acts as a single, it act as a single source of truth for an organization. Okay, enabling informed decision making by providing historical and current data for business intelligence. Also data mining and other analytical purposes. Okay, here centralized repository means the form of different operational systems like CRP and ERP, etc. Okay, here such a large amount of data was difficult to store here, but in this data warehousing, we have to collect a large amount of data and use and understand with discrete databases. Okay, with the overall advancement in business intelligence, there is a need for quick strategic decision making. Okay, these are all attributes of data warehousing. What does mean by subject oriented and integrated, time variant, and non-volatile? Okay, here data that gives information about a particular subject rather than organization ongoing operation, which means data is organized around specific business object. Example, customer or a product. Okay, these and all can be stored. Okay, for example, marketing, sales. These are all the example for subject oriented. And integrated, which means a data is gathered from a variety of heterogeneous sources, like individual databases. If I'm working in a college, myself, I have a data with the college. So that databases also can be stored. Same wise, my colleague information also stored in a database. That is called integrated. Particular databases like heterogeneous sources into one interlinked repository. That organization having all kind of databases, all those databases must be stored in a data warehouse. Next one, time variant. Time variant, which means all the data in a data warehouse is identified with a specific time. Okay, with a specific time period, or it should not be time independent. Okay, actually, all the data in a data warehouse is identified with a specific time period, or it should not be time independent. It is not time independent. Like if I am storing one data in this time, but I have already stored data previous semester, or like yesterday I have stored something like any file. That should be not dependent. Okay, the time variant, which means a data is identified with a specific time period. That's it. Non-volatile, which means it cannot be erased or it cannot be exhausted. The data is stable in a data warehouse. Previous data is not deleted when new data is added. Best example is if we add anything new, that previous data cannot be deleted. Okay, these are all the 4 attributes: subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non-volatile. Okay, actually, this data warehousing also improve decision making by providing a holistic view of data. Data warehouse enable better information decision. Okay, for example, it enhance business intelligence, like BI activities, including reporting, data mining, or predictive analytics. Okay, and better quality data quality, and it gives a better data quality by consolidating. Like how it gives means by consolidating data and streaming accessing data warehouse improves the efficiency of data analysis process. Okay, the next thing is benefits of autonomous data warehousing, which means a benefit of autonomous data warehousing means autonomous means it's self-care, self-estimation, self-preparation, which is called self. It can be stored by themselves. Here the benefit is cost reduction, improved data security, and faster deployment, focus on analyticals over maintenance. Here, the cost reduction process, it identifying and eliminating unnecessary expenses. Fine. With an organization to improve profitability, operational efficiency, or competitivity pricing without compromising product or service quality. Actually, the thing is, without disturbance of a quality and a product compromising, the utilization, the cost reduction, and the elimination of unnecessary expenses will be identified. Okay, this is called the process of identifying and eliminating unnecessary expenses within an organization to improve profitability, operational efficiency, or competitive pricing without compromising product or service quality. Fine. Next one is improve data security. Improve data security, which means which implementing advanced security protocols like encryption methods and compliance measures to safeguard the sensitive data. Improve data security, which means it if somebody is accessing your data without the authentication process, it won't give any kind of access to third party, which that gives a improved data security. Implementing advanced security protocols and encryption methods and compliance measures to safeguard sensitive data. What is meant by encryption method? Encryption method is in the sense, if we give any data, the system will encrypt the data and then it will gives us a decrypted data. For what? Actually, the encryption method is used for hiding the data from accessing from the user and gives a secured protocols to the user by converting into a decrypted data and gives a encrypted data. Okay. And the next one is faster deployment. The ability to deliver and implement software solution and updates or infrastructure in significantly reduced timeframes, typically through automation, cloud technologies, or streamlining the process, enabling quicker go-to-market or operational readiness. Okay. Here it is also known as enterprise data warehouse. Is a system used in a system. We use reporting and analysis and is core component of business intelligence. Okay, data warehouse are central repository of data integrated from disparate sources. Here, the faster deployment in the sense it typically through the automation process. It cannot be it won't require for manual process. It will go through automation. Okay, focus on analytics over maintenance. Here, shifting organizational resources and efforts from routine system upkeep to strategic data analysis, enabling better insights and decision making and business value extraction from data, while backend systems are efficiently managed through automation or outsourcing. Here, by shifting the operational resources and effort from the routine system upkeeps to strategic data analysis. Okay. And here we are going to look about three-tier databases. Here, the three-tier data warehousing architecture is common and widely used in model for organization and data warehousing. Here, this data warehousing architecture consists of 3 layers. Okay, which is bottom tier, that is called data storage, and middle layer is called OLAP. Middle layer is called data warehouse layer, and the top layer is front end client, which is us client. Okay, here the bottom tier is extracts and load data from various sources into data warehouse. Just imagine here a bottom tier. Okay, here a bottom tier, middle and top. Bottom layer is the source layer. the one who gives us source to the data warehouse. And the one who access the data warehouse is top layer, front end layer. Okay. Here, this bottom tier data warehousing, which is called data source layer, which data is acquisition layer. Acquisition layer is in the sense it extract and load the data from various sources into data warehousing. Okay. This tier act as the foundations and storing raw data extracting from various sources. Okay. Like ERP, CRM, flat files, and external data sources. Okay. These sources including operational databases. Here, transformation and loading processes done by bottom layer. And this layer ensure data consistency. Here, the consistency and accuracy of efficient storage has to be done. Okay, this layer is called bottom layer or like data source layer. Okay, fine. Next one is a middle tier data warehousing, which is also called as data storage layer. Okay, this is what a data warehouse layer. Data warehouse layer means the whole data, the whole database, the whole files, the whole central repository. The single term, central repository. Okay, middle layer is also known as data storage layer. Here, this layer focuses on processing and transformation. Here, the data warehouse act as a intermediate between client and source. Okay, intermediate between bottom and top layer. Okay, this layer focuses on processing and transforming data for analysis. Fine. It employs online analytical process, OLAP, online analytical process servers, which can be either relational or multidimensional OLAP, which is relational means relational OLAP and multidimensional, which means MOLAP. Fine. It provides a simplified and standardized view of data, making it easier for user to understand and interact with. Fine. Here the middle layer is data storage layer. Fine. Top tier means presentation layer or front end layer. Okay, here it provides a interface for user to interact with data warehouse. User can interface with data warehouse. It includes reporting and data visualization tools, allowing user to query, analyze, and generate reports. It provides actually this function is to provide a tools and interface for user to access and analyze the data. This is what happened in a top tier. For example, Power BI and other queries and reporting tools. These are all example for this top tier. This tier facilitates data mining and exploration, enabling user to extract values insight from the data. Okay. So this is what a bottom tier, middle tier, and top tier data warehousing is happening. Here the application of data warehousing. Here the application, which means that as discussed before, like the data warehouse helps business executives to organize and analyze and use their data for decision making. For this, data warehousing is using. Data warehouses are widely used in this following fields: financial services, banking services, consumer goods, retail sectors, controlled manufacturing. Financial service in the sense financially which we maintain, like funds or like some kind of short and medium and micro enterprises or like financial support service. Okay, banking, which means all kind of banks, small banks, big banks, national, international, all those things using data warehousing. Consumer goods, for exporting and importing the data must be stored in particular kind of data warehouse or a particular kind of house that stores the data for importing and exporting. This kind of uh, things and all comes under consumer goods. Here, retail sector. Retail sector means or a textiles or a goods, something which comes under retail. The one who gets a bulk data and retain to some other, which also needs to be done in data warehousing. Okay, fine. Next one, a difference between operational database and data warehouse. Here, a data warehouse and database. Of the first thing in data warehousing, it involves historical processing of information. Historical processing of information, which means it can retrieve the first thing from the bottom. From the first thing means it can retrieve the data from initial, which means historical data from till now data. Okay. In database, it involves only with day-to-day processing. Okay. It is used to analyze the business. And here the database, it used to run the business. Here, the data warehouse is used to analyze the business. Here, the database is used to run the business. Fine. It contains, with this data warehouse, it contains historical data. It contains only historical data. Okay. But in this database, it contains current data. Only with the current data, the database will be working. But in case of data warehousing, the historical data can be present in a data warehouse. Okay. Here, the data warehousing, it focuses on information out. Okay. Actually, which means the information can be retrieved from the warehousing. But here, database, we have to put some data in to focus on. Okay. The next one, in data warehousing, the number of records accessed are in millions. As like before, I said the data's maybe files or drives. It is a huge amount of different kinds of data to be stored in a particular data warehouse, which is simply set by a repository, a centralized repository for accessing our data. And for this database, a number of records accessed are in tens, only in tens, zeros, ones, tens. Okay. But in warehousing, the records accessed are in millions. Okay. The best example is like data warehouse and database, which is current data and this is historical data. From here, data have to be put in, and from data warehouse, data can be retrieved from that, which it involves in historical process, but databases day-to-day processing. Okay, it is accessed in millions, but here the database is accessed in terms of tens. Okay, and data warehouse component. Here, what are all the components? Data sources. The second one is ETL tools. ETL tools. The third one is staging area. The fourth one is data storage, which comes under data marts, fact, or dimensional tables. Okay. And the last one is metadata and query tools. Okay. Here, the basic architecture of a data warehousing, which comes under data sources. First thing is data sources. What we looked here, data sources, ETL tools, staging area, data storage, metadata, and query tool. Same here, data sources. The second one is staging area, and then warehouse and users. Okay, here the operational system is extracted the data which has to be done to warehouse. Okay, here the operational system 1, operational system 2, and flat files, which can be in different forms. Okay, that should be transferred to the whole warehouse process, metadata, summary data, and raw data. That can be accessed by the user. Anybody's can access, like user, analysis, reporting, and mining. Okay, this is the data warehousing architecture with the staging area. Here, data source. In this, we are defining what is meant by data source layer, the collection of data from different data sources. So we can collect different data from different sources. Like if I need somebody's details, I have to go with collecting the data from different sources. If I need some particular student's detail, I have to go with schooling first. Then I have to go with college, and I have to go with anything like hostel or so, to collect the data from different different data sources. For this, data source layer is using collecting the data from different source, and so all the data that is extracted from various database comes under this layer. The next one is ETL layer. ETL, which means extract, transform, and load. The extract is, this tool is used for cleaning, transforming, and loading the data. Okay. Actually, here the thing is extracting the operational system flat files, and that should be accessed by the user, reporting, and mining. Here, the extracting data from various sources and then transforming it into usable format, and then loading it into a data warehouse for analysis process. Okay, here E means extract, and then it transform to data warehouse, and then it will load it in a data warehouse. Okay, extract. Extract is, in the sense, data is gathered from various sources such as database, cloud storage, like flat files. For example, flat files. Okay. And then transform. Transform in the sense, the extracted data is then cleaned, converted, and formatted to meet the specific requirements of a data warehouse. This might involves data cleaning, data validation, data aggregation, and data enrichment. Fine. And the last one, load. ETL, the last one, load. Finally, the transformed data is loaded into a data warehouse where it can be accessed and analyzed by user. Fine. Here, the staging area. What is meant by staging area? With the help of ETL, the extracted, transform, and load. With the help of ETL tool, the data from the source system is copied into temporary location called staging. This is called staging. The one stage to another stage, it is transforming. That is called staging area. That filtered data, that loaded data from extract layer to transform that into load area, load to the data warehouse. That process has to be transferred to the temporary location. That is called staging area. And then warehouse. What does mean by warehouse? Before loading the data into warehouse, the raw data is first cleaned and transformed into structured format, and then finally loaded into warehouses. Actually, which means first the raw data is first cleaned and then transformed into structured format. Like if we give zeros, if we give A, B, C, or like JKL, if we give that letters, that data warehouse has to be done the cleaning process. That can be converted into structural format, and then only finally the loaded into warehouse. Okay, presentation layer. Here the presentation layer, the data which is completely loaded into the warehouse can be accessed accordingly to the requirements of the user. For example, data mining, forecasting, analyzing. Okay. Here the presentation layer, the data which is completely loaded into warehouse, that can be accessed according to the requirements of the user. But the next example is forecasting or analyzing. Okay. Here the advantage of data warehouse. Here the competitive advantage. the huge return on investment for those companies that have successfully implemented our data warehouse is evidence of a enormous competitive advantage that accompanies this technology. These are all advantage of data warehouse. Okay, we just look into this for a short brief. Actually, the increased productivity of corporate decision making is by creating an integrated database of consistent, subject-oriented, historical data. The productivity of a decision makers has improved. Fine. Then the third one is more cost efficient decision. More cost efficient decision in the sense, data warehouse helps to reduce overall cost. Overall cost has to be reduced with the help of data warehousing, and the product by reducing the number of channels. Fine. Next, a better enterprise intelligence. With the help of data warehousing, it helps in enhancing customer service. Like marketing or a sales or what kind of services it helps in enhancing customer service. Okay, here with the limitation and future scope. These are all the future scopes and limitations of data warehouse. No real-time processing, hidden problem with source system, data homogeneization, complexity of integration, high maintenance. These are all limitations. Here, no real-time processing, which means a data stored is not real-time. It is not real-time. It takes some time to upload the, excuse me, upload the recent data. Fine. If the data stored is not real, it takes some time to upload the recent data. The next one is hidden problem with source system. Sometimes the problem associated with the data warehouse may be undetected for years, for particular years. And then a data homogenization. It may result in a loss of some important data. Data homogenization, which means this may result in loss of some important data. It may. Okay, not sure, it may. Then complexity of integration. Complexity of integration, which means an organization must spend a significant amount of data determining how well the various different data warehousing tools can be integrated into the overall solution that is needed. Fine. That is how well the various different data warehouse tools can be integrated into overall solution that is needed. For that also, it helps. High maintenance. Data warehouse or high maintenance system, thus resulting in high maintenance cost. Whereas maintenance system is high, the cost will also, cost maintenance also high. Okay. So, this is a basic data warehousing. In this references, you can access the tutorials points.com or programmersinterview.com or like ecomputernotes.com, okay, or www.wikipedia.com or www.study.com. You can learn about more about data warehousing. Okay, the basic thing is which is centralized repository. Fine. Actually, what is meant by data warehousing in the sense this picture display defines the whole thing. Okay, there is a central repository that stores structured and semi-structured data from various sources. That is sourced and designed for analysis and reporting rather than transactional processing. Fine. Actually, this is what is meant by data warehousing. This is just a basic thing. We will see in next video for the detailed explanation of data warehousing. Thank you so much.